And now for something completely different.
You and me, brother. In his hands, we got a you and me, sister. In his hands, we got a you and me, brother. In his hands, we got the whole world in his hands.
Welcome to ODD TV.
This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is. ODD TV.
I've got one that can see.
Hey everybody, this is ODD. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is, I spent the past couple of days tracking down every piece of media that I could that pertains to the moon landing hoax, and we're gonna go over all of it. The bad news is that no matter how obvious it was that they staged the moon landings, and no matter how many times they rub it in our faces in the mainstream media, many people have been bamboozled into believing that landing on the moon 6 times in the span of 3 years is entirely possible. They also think it's reasonable that we haven't even thought of going back in over 45 years. And the fact that NASA has repeatedly admitted that we can't go past low Earth orbit.
This next generation spacecraft will enable America to explore beyond low Earth orbit.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
The kinds of technologies that we're testing out on space station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
Isn't the slightest bit worth worrying about. And by the way, this is the reason why my channel slogan is where sci-fi and fantasy merge with reality. A lot of people misunderstand it and they think that I'm trying to discredit myself right away by saying that like what I'm talking about is fantasy and sci-fi, so it's all fake. What it means is they show us tons of truth in movies, TV shows, video games, etc. But they pass it off as complete fiction. And my videos is where that truth finds its way back to the real world. You know, I like to say anyway. A lot of people make good videos about movies and media and whatnot. As a hardcore movie buff, it's my offering to the real truth seekers out there. We're all a little different and we all have our own things to offer. Anyway, let's get started on this list. Got a whole lot of good stuff here. In Diamonds Are Forever, while searching for a villain, James Bond finds himself in an underground area where the moon landings are being staged. The film Top of the Heap includes a fantasy sequence in which the lead character imagines he is an astronaut participating in the hoaxing of a moon landing in a film studio. The movie Capricorn 1 has nothing to do with going to the moon, but in the film, NASA fakes a mission to Mars, which is essentially the same thing, and something that they will be doing in the near future. But since Stanley Kubrick is dead, and James Cameron and Ridley Scott are getting pretty old, they will probably use J.J. Abrams or Michael Bay, something like that, who knows. The Shining, which takes place in the fictional town of Sidewinder, Colorado, not to mention the numerous references to Room 237 in Toy Story 3, one when Woody is using the computer, another one on a garbage truck, and another on the cameras used in the daycare center. It even says Overlook. That's the name of the hotel, Overlook Hotel, room 237. Here's a scene from the 1992 movie Sneakers.
Okay, boss. This LTX-71 concealable mic is part of the same system that NASA used when they faked the Apollo moon landings. Yeah, the astronauts broadcast around the world from a soundstage at Norton Air Force Base in San Bernardino, California. So, work for them. Shouldn't give us too many problems. Thanks.
I'm sure everybody is familiar with this popular line from the movie Coneheads. And take note that it's Dan Aykroyd again, just like the last one, Sneakers.
Good morning, parental units.
Dawn greetings, young one.
What would you like for consumables? Pop-Tarts, chicken embryos, seasoned patties of ground animal flesh?
I'm not really hungry. Just some Tang.
Ah, Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
King of the Hill, Season 2, Episode 12. Dale is the wacky conspiracy theorist of the show, and here he brings up the moon landing, which was obviously fake, but ruins it by comparing it to something completely ridiculous, a common tactic used to discredit something real.
I'm playing God. Well, maybe we ought to ask God who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Going to win. The game was pre-taped 6 months ago in the same Nevada hangar where they faked the moon landing.
Yeah, man, it's like that dang old Capricorn 1, man. It's a good movie, but, you know, they ain't gonna fake no staying on the ground like that. They don't Neil Armstrong.
Nice reference to Capricorn 1 by Boomhauer. The TV show News Radio, Season 4, Episode 17, has Jimmy James pretending to fly a hot air balloon around the world, but was filming the whole thing inside of a TV studio. Lisa finds out and calls him out on it.
So did you recover from your mission?
Almost. I still got a little sand in my shorts.
Mr. James, I'm sorry. I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not going to be able to keep quiet about this.
Oh, come on, Lisa, it's not such a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Hey, this is not like I was faking the Apollo moon landing or anything. Now that was a big deal.
What?
Nothing, I gotta go.
Here's one from The Late Show with David Letterman, when he had Gillian Anderson come on to do the top 10 list of things your government doesn't want you to know. Number 3 is the one we're looking at here.
Number 4.
The entire Cuban Missile Crisis was staged by Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Due to a navigational error, Neil Armstrong actually landed in Wilmington, Delaware.
In the pilot episode of ITV's sitcom Believe Nothing, an Illuminati think tank type council kills one of their members after stating, "We faked the moon landing, but their caterers can't supply a decent prune Danish."
What is it this time, Councillor Nabish?
Well, I don't want to make waves, but we have got to do something about these caterers. We faked the moon landings, for Christ's sake. Is it too much to expect a decent prune Danish? With my double decaf macchiato. I mean, hello.
Goodbye.
On Friends, Season 9, Episode 8, Joey accidentally misses an important work function and needs to come up with a good lie, so he asks Phoebe.
Hey, everybody! Happy Thanksgiving!
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, Phoebes.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
I need a good lie.
Oh, okay. How about the whole man walking on the moon thing, you know?
In the video game Grand Theft Auto Vice City, there's a studio set up like a moon landing scene. In Looney Tunes Back in Action, when Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are in Area 52, they browse at some videotapes, and one of the videotapes says, "Moon landing dress rehearsal." America by Rammstein, official music video. Season 7, Episode 13 of that 70s show, muddying the waters and making the real conspiracy sound terrible while putting it in plain sight.
I think you guys are overreacting. There's no way the government would park a car right outside my house. Foreman, anything you think the government's not doing, they are doing. The only thing they didn't do is land the man on the moon. No. Spielberg shot the entire thing on a Hollywood movie set. That's why we got the job for Jaws.
Family Guy, Season 4, Episode 4, has this part during a flashback.
We'll turn this place into a karaoke bar. Oh man, that's the best idea since they faked the moon landing.
Okay, cut.
Wow, Neil Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, there's a tape delay and with all solar winds.
And also, on Season 2, Episode 9, when Peter comes clean about not having healing powers.
Stop worshiping me! I'm just a big fake! Like the moon landing!
A video game from 2005 called Area 51 has a moon landing set. In the movie RV from 2006 with Robin Williams, there's this scene.
Now what do we do?
Hey, I know. Let's go to the beach and go surfing.
Wait a minute, I forgot.
We're not in Hawaii. We're where NASA faked the moon landing.
Here's a clip from the Colbert Report from July 27th, 2006.
And here's the Smithsonian Institute's Air and Space Museum, where you can see the original rocks from the soundstage where they faked the moon landing. It's a piece of Hollywood history.
Red Bull commercial from 2006.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Oh boy. Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, jeez. You drank a Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings.
What should we do?
Well, nothing. Come back to Earth and we'll shoot the whole thing in a studio.
Okay.
Washington Mutual commercial called Parking Garage.
Bill!
Hey, guys. We've heard murmurings about WAMU credit cards.
Oh, yeah, you get free online access to your credit score, and if it changes, we'll let you know.
William, some information is better kept secret. Otherwise, what's next?
We tell the public who was on the grassy knoll.
What?
Or where the moon landing was staged? The thing was staged. Bill, sometimes you're so naive.
Free monthly online credit scores with the WAMU credit card.
Sleep well, Bill.
On National Treasure Part 2, the moon landing is brought into question because the answer as to what really happened is in the President's Book of Secrets, which they have yet to find in the movie.
Chapter 13.
The President's Secret Book?
The President's Secret Book. It happens to be a collection of documents for presidents, by presidents, and for presidents' eyes only. And I'm not just talking about JFK here, guys. The 18.5 missing minutes of the Watergate tapes. Did the Apollo really land on the moon? Did it? Did it?
In the TV show My Name is Earl, Crabman, or Darnell, mentions the moon landing hoax a couple of times. Once on Season 2, Episode 19.
Poor Randy. You can edit film to make people think all kinds of things. Like the moon landing. That was all done with puppets in my uncle's garage.
And again on Season 3, Episode 9.
PBS! Ray, how the hell would I get PBS when I'm pregnant? Oh, it's a channel. Oh, hold on. Okay, I found it. He's listening. Dipstick and Dum Dum wanting the baby to listen to some stupid show about the moon landing.
Alleged moon landing. Keep the receiver covered while I give this baby the opposing point of view. consider this little man. In the footage, you'll notice shadows from divergent sources.
This baby's already smart, Darnell. He just turned around so you're talking to his butt.
Of course, Crabman is the dumb conspiracy theorist worthy of ridicule. The TV show American Dad, Season 4, Episode 7.
Folks, it's an honor for me to be working in this studio. This is the very sound stage where we faked the moon landing. And the JFK assassination. No, I'm sorry, this is where we planned the JFK assassination.
One of several World of Warcraft commercials featuring Mr. T.
Some suckers think my night elf mohawk is a hoax, like jackalopes or the moon landing. Well, it ain't. So I'm hunting them down with my latest invention, the Mohawk grenade.
In the Futurama movie, Into the Wild Green Yonder, Fry reads Nixon's thoughts, and here's what he says.
The one secret no one ever suspected is that I really did stage the moon landing. On Venus! Aroo!
The TV show Leverage, Season 2, Episode 5.
We totally went to the moon.
Movie sets. I've seen them. They're outside of Albuquerque.
Why would there still be sets there?
Because they're gonna reuse them for the Mars mission. Repaint it all red.
Doctor Who, Season 7, Episode 12, starts off in an amusement park with a moon landing scene. 11 of the show 30 Rock.
This is Studio 6H. You know what's been shot on this stage? TGS, the Joey Montero show, the Lovebirds?
And the moon landing. Right this way.
Season 4, Episode 4, Arrested Development.
Hey, let's go inside the lamp. You want to?
Wow, Dad, is this the one that landed on the moon?
On a soundstage.
Oh, right, from Apollo 13.
No, 1969. I'll tell you about it inside the lamp. It's soundproof in there.
The official music video for On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. It's jam-packed full of Stanley Kubrick and Shining symbolism, along with Freemasonry stuff, and it shows the band performing on the moon landing stage. In the cinematic universe of the movie Interstellar, it's a fact written in the textbooks that the Apollo missions were a hoax.
She always loved the pictures.
It's an old federal textbook. We've replaced them with the corrected versions.
Corrected?
Explaining how the Apollo missions were fake to bankrupt the Soviet Union.
You don't believe we went to the moon?
I believe it was a brilliant piece of propaganda that the Soviets bankrupted themselves, pouring resources into rockets and other useless machines.
In the kids' movie Minions, there's a part of a montage that shows a moon landing being staged. Also, in another scene, we have that floor again from The Shining. And something I find interesting is that the company that makes these movies is called Illumination, and never fails to show their one-eyed minion in the intros. Drop the O in and you got Illuminati. The movie Moonwalkers, one of my personal favorites, it takes place in 1969 and has someone pretending to be Stanley Kubrick and then struggling with faking the moon landing. Highly recommended. And here we are. Operation Avalanche just came out the other day. I watched it. It was awesome. In 1967, during the height of the Cold War, 2 young CIA agents go undercover at NASA to investigate a possible Russian mole. In disguise as documentary filmmakers, they tap phones and break into offices while purporting to learn more about the Apollo project. But what they end up uncovering is, you guessed it, the moon landing was staged. I'll leave it at that, but definitely check this one out. As of now, it's the latest in a long line of truth about the moon landing hoax in plain sight. So, did we land on the moon?
It begins with a single lie, just one small step away from the truth. But that small step can lead deeper and deeper into a web of deception, until the only way out is to face a truth far worse than any lie.
Hold everything! Those are perverts. Colonel Muriel Clean here, and that's just the sort of grubby, nasty lavatory innuendo that's scraping the bottom. Shut up! We all know that B, B, and C stand for 3 of the most disgusting words in the English language: British, broadcasting, and corporation. Not only that, there now follows half an hour of hideous, wacky smuttery and naughty, wobbling things of all denominations. So do what I do if you don't want it rammed down your throat. Turn over to the other side. Quick!
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of...
We know the Earth is not flat.
We don't. It's flat.
Mutiny, the captain thinks the world is around, see? But we all know it's a flat, right?
Of course it's flat. Sure, I know the world is flat.
Well, so do I. Everybody knows that.
Good, good.
You see, my crew thinks the Earth is a flat, but we know it's around, right?
Yeah, right. Sure, it's round.
Of course it's round.
1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to our show.
For centuries, man has been conned into believing that they share a common ancestor with apes, and that they live on a spinning ball, flying through infinite space at speeds that no human can even fathom. Somehow, this belief system has taken hold with the majority of humanity, although there is no proof for any of these things whatsoever. The verifiable fact is that the Earth underneath our feet is a level and motionless plane. Currently, many people are beginning to understand this fact, despite a lifetime of brainwashing from agenda-driven public education and media propaganda.
1,500 years ago, everybody knew.
Let me explain the world order. Governments and corporations need people like you.
We are Samurai, the keyboard cowboys. And all those other people out there who have no idea what's going on are the cattle. Moo.
What's up everybody, this is ODD, and this is a follow-up to my video called Fake Moon Landing as Seen on TV, but this one is about our flat and motionless Earth. We will be going in reverse chronological order. Let's get started. Shout out to my subscriber Harry for this one. In the Imagine Dragons music video for Believer, there is a subliminal message at the 2:59 mark. Let's watch it at normal speed.
I want to stop. We can't.
Now let's slow it down. Now let's pause it. Flat Earth map right in the eyeball. This next one goes out to my friend Griffin and his girl Sarah. In Fear the Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 9, there is a scene with a flat Earth clock with a plane flying around it. Fun fact, the word airplane comes from the reality that the craft is flying through the air above the flat plane. Next up is Blade Runner 2049, with a reference to the firmament. Shout out to The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction for this one.
Human action resounds in the heavens. The bell echoes above. What we decide here today will polish or crack the firmament. What shall it be?
Westworld TV show. Trespass against us.
My dad once told me the world was flat. Where I'm looking, son, he said. Where I'm looking, the world is flat. I believed him. I still do.
That's a fucking bull.
Now, before you start, I don't give a fuck about outer space or the view from up there.
Gods of Egypt. A song by Toto called 21st Century Blues. A recent Western movie called Bone Tomahawk.
Sheriff, old man, you know, I know that the world's supposed to be round, but I'm not so sure about this part.
The Signal. The Giver.
Planned for sameness. Another trick?
Actually, no.
It's some kind of map.
Under the Dome. The Amazing World of Gumball.
Delicious.
What are la fries of the French?
Are you a potato?
As sure as the world is flat.
The Simpsons, Season 24, Episode 6.
Fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
The Hunger Games.
Force field. It's a dome. We're at the edge of the arena.
Game of Thrones.
You're not thinking of taking the black.
And go celibate? The whores would go begging from dawn to Casterly Rock. No, I just want to stand on top of the wall and piss off the edge of the world.
2010 song by Nas. Comedy movie from 2009 called Fired Up. Shout out to Chippy the Chipmunk for this one.
That's why we left Calcutta. Well, Dad and my dad took a job with United Airlines. I tell you what, your jobs aren't just going over there, sailor. Some of us are coming over here. The world is flat like a son of a bitch.
You're giving us a lot to process here.
An episode of Breaking Bad.
What?
Right before your surgery, I asked if you had packed your cell phone, and you said, which one?
When? Skylar, I was medicated. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
The Color of Magic.
The Disc World. For the people on the disc, the turtle was a mere hypothesis.
The Simpsons movie. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. A movie called Just Friends says this very strange line out of nowhere.
It's cold out here.
Yeah, it is. It's like the South Pole.
It's like the deep South Pole, if there was one. There isn't, though.
Thanks for walking me in my door.
Yeah.
The Village from 2004. This one doesn't directly reference Flat Earth, but the whole concept of this movie is Flat Earth. It's about these people that live in the middle of an animal sanctuary, and nobody outside of it knows. The same goes for the people that live in the village. Besides the elders, everyone believes that this is all there is, and it's their best bet. The elders tell the younger people in the village not to venture out into the forest because the monsters will get them. On top of that, the entire sanctuary is fenced in beyond the woods. This is similar to how we are confined to the middle area of our flat Earth. A King of Queens episode.
Let's make new friends. Let's open up our world. You know what? I don't want to open up our world. I want to close our world. Build a dome over it.
But if you don't want to meet any new people, why'd you agree to go out with them?
Because Carrie can't know about the dome.
iRobot has a scene with a map that kind of looks like a flat Earth map, but not quite, but I'm throwing it in here anyway. Flat Earth map in the 2004 Catwoman movie. Shout out to Nicole Cote for this one. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
What is it? It just stands, Captain. It's the edge of the world. Hey up. It's flat.
Hey up. It's flat.
An interesting scene from The West Wing, Season 2, Episode 16.
Why are we changing maps?
The German cartographer, Mercator, originally designed this map in 1569 as a navigational tool for European sailors. Distorts the relative size of nations and continents.
Are you saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes. Look at Greenland.
Okay.
Now look at Africa.
Okay.
The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger?
Yes?
Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Another Simpsons episode, Season 12, Episode 4.
Wow, what a view!
The Flintstones, Viva Rock Vegas.
I've never met anyone like Bernard Rubble. He's so loyal and so sweet. He makes me feel like I'm the only girl in this whole flat world.
That's exactly how Fred makes me feel.
Of course, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
The Truman Show. Small Soldiers has a scene where Archer the Gorgonite is looking around on the computer and a cartoon globe shows up. On the monitor underneath it, it says, "Question reality." Dark City. This is from the same guy who made Gods of Egypt. Men in Black.
1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
500 years ago is when the Jesuits started pushing heliocentrism. Mars Attacks. The first Flintstones movie.
Okay, Brother Flintstone, we need a strike to win. Can you do it?
Hey, is the Earth flat?
An episode of Jim Henson's Dinosaurs.
You know how everybody believes the world is flat, like a pancake? Well, they're all wrong. The world is actually round, like an orange.
A Few Good Men.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns.
DuckTales, the movie.
You read the whole encyclopedia?
Uh-huh. Cover to cover to cover to cover to cover to cover. What's this? Baseball? Bowling ball? Cinderella's ball?
No, it's a globe of the Earth.
Get back. You mean the Earth isn't flat?
An episode of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Shout out to Flat Earth Asshole for this one.
Christopher Columbus, at your service, Queenie. The only man in the world who can find your precious spices. Are you serious? You'll fall off the edge of the Earth. No problemo. See, I have this theory. The world isn't flat. It's round. Round? What's so funny? Nothing! Really?
A family movie from 1986 called Space Camp. There is a scene with the Flammarion engraving hanging on the wall. It's the famous image of the man sticking his head through the firmament. Back to the Future opens up with a flat Earth clock on the wall. This is a 1984 promo image for the TV show V. '82 Illuminati card entitled Flat Earthers. Logan's Run. This one needs a bit of a breakdown, just like The Village. Logan's Run is about a society of people that spend their whole life under a dome. Logan decides to escape, and one of the last things he encounters on his way out is an area made of ice. Flintstones episode from 1965.
Captain thinks the world is round, see? But we all know it's a flat, right?
Of course it's flat. Sure, I know the world is flat.
Well, so do I. Everybody knows that.
Good, good. Then you're on our side. We're gonna take over the boat, throw Columbus in chains, and head for home.
Good idea.
An episode of Bonanza.
What does gravity look like? Gravity is something we can't see. But we know it's a great invisible force that keeps us all here on Earth. It's a natural force that keeps us all from flying off into space. We were always told that the world is flat.
You were told right. Don't listen to her.
The Sword in the Stone.
Now, first of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round? Yes, yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
And finally, a movie starring Elvis called Flaming Star from 1965.
Hey, sir, his brother. We make him welcome. Speak, anyone.
Kiowa Pacer is true earth, round like ball. White man live all side.
That is true.
Tell me, why men on bottom not fall off?
Never been there. Maybe they do.
The media is a very fascinating tool. The ruling class use it to program and brainwash us, all the while showing us truth in plain sight. And because of this, the lines between fantasy and reality are heavily blurred. They program us to believe that we live on a spinning ball and that outer space is real, but in the same programming, they show us the truth and they mock us. What a world this is, huh? Thanks for tuning in. This has been ODD TV. I'm gone.
Twilight Zone.
We're living in the
Twilight Zone.
These crazy days that we live in just cause me aches and pains. Lately my life is like a season of Stranger Things. This place is flooded with demons and they invade your brains. This is an artificial hell and they create the flames. Day to day I just try to stay strong and make it through. Wake people up from their slumber, that's what I came to do. Please don't believe what you see on TV and think it's true. It's all just targeted programming and it's aimed at you. It's everywhere, you're getting lied to and yet you barely care. People with common sense are now very rare. But the way that they brainwash you isn't very fair. They can shove that mind control programming up their derriere. I do not consent to the way they tailor society. Ain't no variety. Plus I really hate when they lie to me. I use music as a tool to release the anger inside of me. You don't know how fucking crazy it's driving me. That we're living in the Twilight Zone. They claim you have freedom but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the Twilight Zone. The government's useless and they're incompetent. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. We're living in the Twilight Zone. The things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. We're living in the Twilight Zone. It's ran by the New World Order conglomerate. But there's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in the Twilight Zone.
It's where we live and control you through fear and terrorism. They wanna keep you in a mental prison where they tell your vision through the television. Where the ignorance is bliss and they just keep you living in it. You're a business, getting us citizenship. What did you really think that your birth certificate is? Get the straw man on. Money isn't paid, it's all a banknote. It's only a bill exchange when you pay that loan. Like a monopoly game, but you can't pass go. When you turn on the TV, all did you get politically entertainment? The news that you see is all suggestive. Lowering frequencies contribute to our stress. And you responding, telling me that we're free living in this country. Military overseas and it's all for our peace. Just a record on repeat from the programming. Like pump it on a cracker. Put you through education for domestication. Control a mind faster. Giving you medication to poison our masses. If you ever question what's coming from our masters and you're rocking the boat, or you're ever having any thoughts of your own, you better hope you never caught rocking alone. To be locked up a road off by the echo. Got your life looking like a sci-fi show. Brain scrambling when the Wi-Fi's on. Airplane mode when I buy my phone. If your eyes wide closed.
We're living in the Twilight Zone. They claim you have freedom but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the Twilight Zone. The government's useless and they're incompetent. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. We're living in the Twilight Zone. The things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. We're living in the Twilight Zone. It's ran by the New World Order conglomerate. But there's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in the Twilight Zone. I ask myself, why do I even bother? Cause people are just like sheep that are lining up for the slaughter. If they're killing rats with fluoride, then why is it in the water? They're using the news to fool us, divide us so they can conquer. The longer you stay asleep, then the longer I'm gonna scream at you. I can't believe you let them deceive you, it's inconceivable. I won't stop until you wake up and do what you need to do. This world is overran with an evil that is unspeakable. Most people don't know, so they just vote and pay taxes. The devil's hiding in the shadows and controlling their actions. And they think that the earth is a spinning globe on its axis. But I don't have any time to devote to this madness. I have nobody to relate to, so I ride alone. Just me and all these wild thoughts that are inside my dome. I feel like I don't belong here and I can't find my home. I'm tripping and I'm wishing it was different, but we're living in the Twilight Zone. They claim you have freedom, but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the Twilight Zone. The government's useless and they're incompetent. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. We're living in the Twilight Zone. The things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. We're living in the Twilight Zone. It's ran by the New World Order conglomerate. But there's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in the Twilight Zone.
And there's nowhere that we can go. Awake and now I'm feeling all alone.
We're living in the
Twilight Zone. And the rest that remain asleep, sedated and still thinking that we're free.
We're living in the
Twilight Zone. And there's nowhere that we can go. Awake and now I'm feeling all alone.
We're living in the
Twilight Zone. And the rest that remain asleep, sedated and still thinking that we're free.
We're living in the Twilight Zone.
You know, is there something to worry about with medicines? That is, might some of them have side effects? Do we need safety testing? I mean, we're taking things that are, you know, genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.